Hello and welcome to today's episode of Thrive After 45. I'm Denise Drinkwalter, heart whisperer, midlife mirror, and mentor. And every week I am so honored to share energy and space with inspiring guests whose stories reflect so many possibilities of thriving beyond 45. Together, we'll uncover the whispers of the heart, the power of midlife transformation, and the wisdom that fuels expansion. What happens to a man when he chooses to truly listen to women? Not to respond, not to fix, but to understand what's never been said out loud. Brad Walsh is a speaker, photographer, and soul visibility guide whose work didn't begin with a title. It began with a willingness to be present. With over 20 years behind the lens, his early work in boudoir photography created something many women had never experienced before: a space where they could be seen without expectation, without performance, without needing to be anything other than who they were in that moment. And something opened there, not just for the women in front of the camera, but for Brad as well. Because when you witness women in that kind of honesty, something within you really starts to shift. And that path led him into deeper conversations and eventually into the creation of Empowerography podcast, where for the past 6 years, he sat with over 800 women, listening to their stories, their truth, their experiences, often the parts of themselves they've never had space to fully express. And when you hold that many stories, you don't stay untouched. You learn to listen differently, to hold space differently, to be differently. Brad's work today is rooted in helping others uncover their story, step into their confidence, and own their visibility, not from performance, but from the truth of who they are. But underneath all of that is a man who chose to stay, to listen, to witness, and to allow those conversations to change him. Brad Walsh, thank you for being a guest on our show today. I cannot wait for the conversation we are going to have.
Oh my gosh, Denise, I'm going to steal that introduction and give that to everybody to use.
I will send it to you, my friend. I
That
got you.
was wow. I'm like, holy crow, that was pretty damn powerful. I sound pretty good.
Well, you are pretty good,
Well,
right?
thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
I am. I will own
Yeah.
that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for this incredible opportunity to be here with you in conversation, to be a part of your platform. It is an absolute honor and a pleasure. So thank you so much for inviting me and for having me today.
You know what? It's such an honor to have been connected with you because this is one of the main reasons why I love to do podcasting is because I get to meet so many incredible human beings I would never have a chance to ever meet any other way. And
Podcasting is an incredible medium to connect, to build relationships and friendships and just hear stories. It's absolutely phenomenal.
it is, isn't it?
Hmm.
And and when we take the time to set everything else aside and what I read Chicken Soup for the Soul eons ago, when
Hmm.
you're in the room, be in the room,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
By Jack Canfield. I'm
Hmm.
like, I've taken that to heart everywhere I go. So this is what we are doing today. We are in the room, we are having these conversations. And I want to start by asking you 6 years,
Hmm.
800 conversations, specifically with the podcast. I know you have more than those conversations.
Hmm.
What has happened to you over the times you've had so many deep, rich, powerful conversations? What can you say is one thing that has really impacted you through all the conversations you've had?
Oh, there's so many. I don't know. I mean, I guess one of the most important ones is I've learned to listen better for
Mm,
sure. That I mean, I think I was a pretty good listener before, but
yep.
now I've taken it to a whole other level. And there's so many people out there that think they're good listeners and they're really not. It
Yep.
is a skill set. And so through the conversations, I've learned how to properly hold space. I had a friend of mine tell me a few years ago, we were talking about holding space, and she
Hmm.
had been a guest on the podcast. I've known her since, I don't know, we were in grade 8, I think it was.
Oh,
So I've known
yeah.
her for a long time.
Yeah.
And we were talking about these skill sets that people have and these gifts that people have. And she said, your gift is holding space. I said, but I don't see that as a gift. It's just something I do. She said, that's exactly why, because
Yeah.
you just do it.
Yeah.
So that I would say has been a huge one. Um, I think getting more in touch with my own self, my own within,
Mm,
being able to learn how to be more introspective and reflective has been a huge thing as well. That all of these women that I have had the honor and the pleasure of sitting down and sharing a conversation with, that's another big one. But I have to say hearing is the listening is the
hmm.
biggest one, and holding space for sure. 1000%.
So when you are in the room
Mm-hmm.
listening,
Mm-hmm.
what aspects from your perspective are key for the listening that gives back to the person that's speaking? What is it in that that really brings the power of listening to life?
Making them feel heard,
Mm,
knowing that they are being heard,
hmm.
reflecting back something that they said. Just these
Right.
little things that you can do that let the person know that, hey, he's really listening or she's really listening, whatever the case is. But for me, yeah, he really listened to what I said. And that, for me, that is the most important job. For me, there's two things I
Okay.
always say to my guests. One
Hmm.
is first and foremost that my guests feel seen and heard by me.
Right.
Second is that they walk away thinking that was one hell of a powerful conversation. I will
Hmm.
remember that conversation because Brad asked questions that made me think.
Hmm.
I had to be introspective. I had to really sit with things, or I've never thought about that before. Holy shit,
Right.
that was powerful. So those are the two. And
Right.
I always tell my guests those two things, as long as I can achieve those two things, that's my
Hmm.
job done.
Hmm. Do you find that it is your new way of being podcasting and in real life? Is there a
Yeah.
change in your real life? Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've learned to listen much better. My daughters will attest to that. My wife, anyone that I interact with, I want them to feel if we're in a conversation, that is the most important skill set. I think that's a huge lack in conversation today is that I find that people, for the most part, are listening to respond
Yeah.
instead of actually listening to hear. Be curious. Ask if you don't agree with someone's opinion or what they're telling you, ask them, how did
Hmm.
you arrive? Why do you think this way? I
Right.
really genuinely, authentically want to know, how did you arrive at this belief that you have?
Hmm.
I want to know just because I want to know. Don't listen
Hmm.
just to respond to them. Don't listen to ram your opinion down their throat. Listen with curiosity.
Hmm. I find, I mean, as a former behavior resource teacher,
Hmm.
I had to tune into the words and the energy that I saw and felt at the same
Hmm.
time. So there was
Hmm.
multiple aspects that were coming at me.
Hmm.
And the thing that I really noticed when I changed into being more attuned to the listening piece and not listening to respond, I shut my brain off and I turned my ears on. Because what I would find is when I put my brain on, I was thinking my next
Yeah.
point,
Hmm.
right? And so I always used to share with teachers when I became an admin, we have one mouth and two ears for a reason,
Yes.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And that really helps people really land on, ooh, yeah, okay. The thing that you shared about the curiosity piece, I love that because what I talk a lot about and what I think is really important for all of us to tune into is coming at life from a lens of curiosity. When we do that, we strip back the tenseness. We strip
Hmm.
back, I have to do this, I have to do this, instead of going, I wonder why that is. I'm curious to know about why I feel this in my body. Curious to know when you say that, what is it you are actually meaning, and asking those deeper questions to help them dig down and explain it in a way that really is understood.
Hmm.
Right?
I've created this. I created it probably about a year and well, maybe 2 years ago now, what I call heart-led listening, and it's the HEAR method.
Mm-hmm.
H stands for holding space.
Mm-hmm.
E stands for empathy without ego. A is ask questions, be curious, and
Mm-hmm.
R is respond with presence. And so we practice the heart-led listening HEAR method.
Mm-hmm.
And that sums up everything that we need to do as people engaged in conversation on the listening side of things.
Right, right. How do people take their emotional state if it
Mhm.
stirs something up in them? What can we do to take that emotional energy out of it and get back into the listening? Because when emotion hits, whoa, sometimes our ears start shutting down because it's like, nope, I disagree, which is totally fine.
Mhm.
But how do you shift it from that
I think
into,
grounding into presence, I think, and also realizing that this isn't, it's not all about you.
mm,
The person sharing their perspective and their thought. You don't have to agree with it. No one's
mhm,
saying you have
yeah,
to agree with what they believe in or what they're saying. It's okay. And this is another part of the problem, I think, with conversations is that we want everyone to agree with us. There's going to be differing opinions. This is what
yeah,
conversation is about. This is how we learn things, is by listening to other people's thought processes, opinions, beliefs, all of these things. Don't get that emotionally invested in it where you get so heated and pissed off. And no, it's
right,
about listening. You could walk away from a conversation with a perspective you never even thought of or imagined in your entire life. So be open to it. Be open to
right,
receive other people's opinions and thought processes. So
right,
grounding and just not letting your emotions get the best of you. You don't have to agree with everything that a person says when you're in conversation with them, and you're probably not going to, and that's
right,
okay.
right. That's part of the growth, isn't it?
For
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
absolutely. That's part of
yeah,
the process. It's not easy. It's a learned
yeah,
skill set. You have to practice, and there is no destination. You're continually, just like healing, just like everything else. It's a continual journey. It's not linear. You're
yeah,
going to have speed bumps, you're going to have detours, you're going to hit potholes, and that's okay. It's part of
yeah,
the learning process as humans.
yeah, totally. And when we have better connections with others,
Mhm.
let me know what you feel about this or think about this or
Mhm.
what's coming up for you when I say this. But when we have strong, I'm going to say better, and that might not
Mhm.
be the right term, connections with others,
Mhm.
it also opens up opportunity for ourselves to reconnect to our inner truth and start to unravel and unwrap where are our belief systems actually
Absolutely.
stemming from, right?
Yeah, I agree with you
Yeah.
1000%. Like I said, you could walk away with a completely different perspective, and that
Hmm.
gives you pause for thought, and you can reflect on that and be introspective about it.
Right.
Like I said, ask the questions. If you want to know,
Right.
ask, why do you think that way? Why do you believe that? Ask the
Right.
questions, be curious. It's all part of it. But
Right.
take away from that conversation that perspective or those thoughts and sit with them.
Hmm.
Let them wash through you. And maybe it will change your perspective. Who knows?
Right.
But the
Right.
point, I think, is to go into conversations not with the idea of, well, I'm going to force this person to see things my way. That's not it. That's not allowing for authentic connection. It's
Right.
our differences, I think, that help foster that authentic connection with others. Because
Right.
we are all
Right.
unique. We're all different.
Of course. Totally.
So,
Totally. And I'm going to say authentic connection to yourself. I think there's
yes.
a ripple effect, there's a
Yeah,
boomerang effect,
absolutely.
because when you open your heart, you can't help but be touched in one way or another.
hmm That's
right?
that's the heart-led listening,
Yeah.
right? Go into conversations with, like you said, and a friend of mine always said that. That's where I picked it up is we have two of these and one of these,
Yeah.
two ears, one mouth for a reason. But go into it with an open heart, an open mind, and two open ears. That's what we
Yeah.
have to, that's how we have to approach conversations.
Right. How does social media impact conversations?
We have keyboard, we have keyboard warriors. People are saying shit that they normally wouldn't say. We have to, and can you believe everything you see on social media? No, you can't. So
No.
again, it's about taking the time to reflect. I mean, you can have great conversations like Facebook Messenger. You can connect with people, have conversations. You can share your thoughts and opinions. You can get other people's input from it, for sure.
Right.
But I don't know, social media, it's great. I think it's a great tool
Yeah.
for connection and all of these things, but it's a double-edged sword because I think it's divided
Mm,
us.
yeah.
It's put this wedge between us where we aren't connecting with each other
Right. Right.
in in that in-person space. It's like, and I think it's, well, I don't want to say it's just the younger generation because it's not, because I see
Right.
adults walking around with their phones and their faces are buried in them, right? So I think it's I had a conversation with a woman and we were talking about social media and the
Hmm.
divide that it's caused. And she said, be intentional with where you put your attention on social media.
Yeah.
That's it. It's simple.
Yeah.
It really is. If
Yeah.
you don't want to lower your vibration, don't look at shitty negative stuff on social
Right.
media. You're in the driver's seat. You have the
Yeah.
ability to shift what you're looking at, what you're paying
Hmm.
attention to. And remember, the algorithms pick up what you are giving your attention to. So be intentional with your attention.
Perfect. There's something in there that you shared that I'm thinking is really resonating with me, and it's
hmm
the messenger piece.
hmm
That might be, this is my perspective, that
Yep.
might be the initial connection,
hmm
but because we met what, last week?
Yep. Yeah. Isn't it
I
wild when you think
I
about that, though, Denise? Like,
I
and look, we're
know.
best
I
friends already.
love it. I know. I love it because I always say, let's meet. I can't
hmm
always meet in person.
Right.
Zoom is the next best thing because
Yep.
we are not leaving things in between the lines because we are actually connected. We are actually
Yes.
live in the
hmm
moment, which to me is huge,
Yeah.
right?
In the room.
Yeah.
We are in the room.
Absolutely. And do I want more in person? 1000%. And I
Yes.
know you are in the final stages of getting
hmm
your
Yeah.
very first, is it?
Yeah. Very first conference. Yeah. Yeah. We did it virtually. We've
Okay.
done it virtually for 5 years. It's called Empowerography Live. So this is our
Yep.
sixth year, and
Hmm.
it's been absolutely incredible creating these connections in the online space. It has its amazing beauty and purposes in the online space. Like you said, you and I connected
Right.
this way. This is how
Right.
most of our connections are actually forming and starting. It's then what
Right.
you do with it to take it to the next level, right?
Yeah.
So we've done that 5 years online in the online space and it has been phenomenal. Friendships have been created, relationships have been built, businesses have been started, all of these things. But we thought,
Hmm.
let's take it to the next level and let's do this in person because I really think, and I'm sure you can attest to this as well,
Yeah.
we are as a human race craving that human connection again. It's been lost since COVID.
Yes.
And I think Zoom fatigue is real. People are
Hmm.
starting to experience it now and getting tired of it, albeit it definitely has its purpose that you and I never would have
Sure.
connected if we did not get introduced, but also
Right.
connect. You took the initiative. Let's connect on Zoom and let's take it to the
Right.
next level. So then
Right.
it's just that next step up, and that's doing
Yeah.
it in person. And so there's just a different energy
Hmm.
that is allowed to breathe in the space when we are all together, and it allows for deeper, more
Hmm.
authentic, real connection. Because yes, we
Hmm.
get connected here and we can form a bond through Zoom.
Yep.
Absolutely. We can form friendships. This is the beginning stages, but there's something
Right.
very different and more powerful about being in the room with people and feeling their energy, being able to give someone a hug that you've been talking to for years online. That is absolutely incredible. And that is the magic of in-person connection. So this is our first year doing Empowerography Live in person. And we are just so excited to bring people from the States, from Canada together in the room and have these people connect with one another, meet each other, like I said, sometimes for the
Yeah.
very first time.
Yeah. And you are such a gifted individual to hold space for such
Thank you.
because it doesn't always happen. You might bring people together, but it
Uh-huh.
doesn't mean they're actually going to connect.
Right.
Your ability to set that quote unquote stage for what you see occurring is absolutely par none. So thank you for putting this together, and it will be in the show notes. People will be able to
Mhm.
figure out and see how to get
Yeah.
into that room
Hmm.
because you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss being in that room.
No.
Everything's set. The stage is set and just waiting for you to come in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a beautiful space. Lots of connection will be made. Lots
Hmm.
of friendships. Soul family will be found as
Right?
we
Yeah.
experienced last year when we did it on. We had women telling us that they finally found a place where they can call home, that they feel supported, that they feel loved. They found their soul connection, their soul family. And I think that's something people can only dream of hearing from the
Right.
attendees of their events.
Right.
It was
Absolutely.
amazing. It filled my heart.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the reason why that happened is because you provide the opportunity for that to occur. You don't force anything. You just open up the right tuning fork and everybody joins that momentum, right? It just
Yeah,
is, and you're changed. You're permanently changed because of it.
absolutely.
And why not?
Yes, absolutely. We all
Right?
deserve that
Yeah.
opportunity to
Yeah.
be in connection with others. Like I said, I
Yeah.
think we're all craving it more
Yeah.
so now than ever, and we
Hmm.
need to get back to it.
Yeah.
We've been missing it. It's the missing
Yeah.
element.
Hmm. And I would even say one step further,
Mhm.
the conversations and the connections, the way they are going to be formed, they're already deeper before entry because
Yes.
we're not talking about, a sage on the stage and a workshop. We're talking
Yeah.
about connection, and that's
Hmm.
very different. Yeah.
For sure, absolutely.
Hmm.
And that's what it's all about. It is about that connection. It's about building community and
Yeah.
bringing people in to be part of the community.
Hmm.
There's more
Hmm.
than enough room for everybody.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you want to get on board, you want to get on
Yep.
the bus, the Empowerography bus, jump on. There's more than
Yeah.
enough seats for everyone.
Love it. I love it.
Mm.
And you know what? You'll get a bigger bus. It's no problem.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. We'll just keep adding on. We'll put more
Yeah.
seats on the bus. It's okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hear ya. I love it. Um, is there I know there's so much we haven't talked about,
Mhm.
but having our audience hearing what you are working towards and what you have accomplished over the
Mhm.
past 6 years with all of the conversations and connections you've had.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you would love to share with our audience, women who are working and busy and can't get ahead and feeling like the duck syndrome that I had recently with Dr. Lawson about looking fine, but underneath you're paddling like all get out to try and figure out how to get over there, but on top you look fine.
Mhm.
Any words of wisdom that you would love to share with our Thrive After 45 audience of women?
Surround yourself with
Mm,
heart and like-minded people. That's the most important thing. It just
mm,
ties back into that connection and having cheerleaders in your corner who support
mm,
you, who will lift you up, because I believe wholeheartedly with every fiber of my being that this is a big part of why every single one of us on this planet is here is to be in and of service to one another. So find your tribe, find
mm,
your soul team, your soul family who will support you and that you can also in turn support in their journeys because we're not meant to do this thing called life alone. We're not meant to do entrepreneurship alone. We are meant to do this in community. And like I said, this is part of the piece that's missing. So find your
mm-hmm,
soul tribe and
mm-hmm.
connect with them and just be there. Cheer
Yeah,
them on as well. This is what we're here to do. There's no other way forward unless we do it together. So
yeah,
find your soul tribe for sure and believe in yourself.
yeah. Love that. And when you do this for you, by you, because of you, everybody within your sphere of influence will benefit.
Yeah.
You
It's a
being the
win-win-win.
first.
Yes.
Totally.
You
Absolutely.
are giving the permission slip to others to stand
Yeah.
up and do the same and let them know that
Yeah.
also that they're not alone.
Yeah. And that is so huge right now,
Hmm. It
in
is.
particular. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We
Never,
need to. We
never.
need to
Yeah.
model that behavior for
Yeah.
others. It's part of that being in and of service to one another. Share,
Yeah.
be vulnerable. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
As long as, and when I say be vulnerable, I'm not saying share all the bits with
Yeah.
everybody. Be selective in who you share with, but no, find that team, find that soul tribe that you can share those things with, who
Mm-hmm.
will listen to you, who will
Mm-hmm.
guide you, who will help you and support you through that. Because
Mm-hmm.
you cannot, you absolutely cannot do it by yourself,
No,
nor are you meant
exactly.
to.
Exactly. I mean, when you think back years and years, I mean, in time, eons ago, they were
Hmm.
always in collective. They were always,
Yes.
nobody ever worked alone.
No.
Nobody ever worked alone. And there's a reason for that because we know as humans, we are connectors.
Hmm. For
No
sure.
matter,
What's the saying? A rising tide raises all ships.
right? Yeah,
There you
totally.
go. That's it.
Totally. Yeah. And if you've been burnt thinking you had your tribe, what do you
Hmm.
recommend people do? Because I know that's come conversations before. If you've been burnt thinking you had found your tribe and then
Hmm.
something surfaces that really cuts and doesn't resonate for you anymore, I know that's something that has come forward through conversations I've had with women. So they're very shy, right? It's like,
Hmm.
"Ugh, I don't want to be vulnerable because I was, yeah, it's like, and we use that term a lot. And you,
Hmm.
you certainly shared, don't just give everything out. It's
Hmm.
not about selling, it's about yourself and your authenticity. So,
I think try not to let yourself be so jaded by that you
mm,
don't let someone else in because you
mm-hmm.
never know who you
Yeah.
might be closing out. That person may be
Yeah.
one of your soul tribes. So it's not easy.
Yeah.
I think I think part of it also is up to you. You have
Mm,
to accept some responsibility
yeah.
in that as well. So sit with
Yeah.
it, reflect and ask yourself, sit and listen to yourself. What was my part in that?
Mm-hmm.
And what can I do differently moving forward
Yeah.
to help establish more genuine and authentic connections? Because we've all been burned. Of course, it
Oh, of course.
happens.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it's part of life,
Mm-hmm.
and not everybody is meant for us, nor are we meant for everybody. So sit with it,
Mm-hmm.
reflect on it, be
Mm-hmm.
introspective, and don't shut any doors.
Right. Yeah. And isn't it interesting? I think the shutting of the doors is a metaphor and people see it.
Hmm.
Where I think it's really, really valuable is we can't think about all the doors that are possibly even present.
Hmm.
So, going back to what you said at the very beginning, when you're in the room and you are present,
Hmm.
doors can open up that you didn't even know existed. So don't think
Yes.
this is the doorway to get me through, right?
No,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a door you never even
Oh,
imagined or expected or even thought of.
yeah.
Just be
Yeah.
open to receiving
Exactly.
because you
Yeah.
never know what is
Yeah.
going to come down the line for you. The universe is always working on behalf of your
Mm-hmm.
betterment
Yeah.
and for your highest and greatest good. And so it's a
Mm-hmm.
matter of trusting in that, believing in that, and then allowing. And I think we tend to get caught up in our own heads and worry about the how is this going to happen? The how is not for you to figure out.
Yeah. 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 And I know people have heard that and heard that and heard that. It once you say, yes, I've heard that, what you need is to what I see is happening is letting it drop into your body
Hmm.
instead of it being in your head.
Hmm.
And that's when things start shifting. Doors start opening up.
Yep.
Um,
Sometimes it's not even, it's funny. A friend of mine recommended a book to me about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I took it in. I didn't really pay it any attention. A year later, someone recommended that exact same book to me, and I picked it up, and it was one of the best books I've ever read. And I went back to my friend and I said, "Remember that book you
yeah.
recommended to me?" It's
Yeah.
it's not always the messenger. It's
Yeah. Yes.
so many people could say the same thing to you, but unless it's the right messenger for you, it's not going to
Mm-hmm.
resonate. So I think
Mm-hmm.
keeping that in mind too, to your point where you're saying that, so many people have heard that,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe it's just not coming from the right messenger.
Right. I love that. I love
Mhm.
that. Yeah. Thank you for
It's
that.
so true.
Yeah. And it what you're saying, I'm something that's coming up for me. Frankie
Hmm.
with G Woman Media,
Hmm.
and I saw a LinkedIn post and I
Hmm.
went in to message her and I looked and I'm like, I've been in conversation or trying to connect with her since 2021. And I'm like, oh, really? Clearly, that was not the right time.
That's right.
This was the right time.
Yes.
And we had a little bit of a chuckle over it because she
Hmm.
was like, yeah, I think we were supposed to. I said, it was 5 years ago, Frankie. I was not ready at that time to have this
Hmm.
conversation.
That's right.
So, like you shared, the universe always works its magic in your favor.
When you're ready to receive it. And look at
Eh,
what has come out of that. You reconnecting with Frankie led to
yeah,
you and I meeting,
I know.
me being on your podcast, you're
Yeah,
going to be on mine. It's just that ripple effect.
yeah,
And you were ready at that moment when you reconnected with Frankie. That was the right
right,
time. The universe
right,
planned it out, orchestrated it to happen as it did.
right. And I was available.
Yes. Hmm.
Right? So there's
Yep.
two pieces of that
Yes.
in
Hmm.
right. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. Willing to receive and being
Yes.
available.
Right. And I'll tell you, my experience is such that I always would be like, well, I don't get what people are always saying. It will happen when it happens. And I'd be like, I'm the former principal. I used to make the things happen. So there's a whole shift that
Yeah.
has to occur because that was, very structured and you had to do. And
Hmm.
now it's like, I've got a totally different energy. Although it always did exist when I look at my childhood, it was
Hmm.
always there, right? It was
Hmm.
always available for me. The ability to connect, the ability to see others and just give time and space. And if it was meant to be, it will be, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is one incredibly important lesson I learned is that whatever is meant for you will
Hmm.
never, ever go by you. Never.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it doesn't happen the way you expect it, it wasn't meant to. There's something else bigger coming around the corner
Yes.
for you. So
Yeah.
don't get attached. And this is something that I
Yeah.
learned very, very recently. Don't get too attached to the outcome. It will be what it is meant to be. And that's it. You getting attached to the outcome can only lead to disappointment. So
Right.
just allow things to unfold the way they're meant to. And if you don't get that job or you don't get that client, it wasn't meant to be. There's some
Right.
other client that's coming down the pipeline for you. So
Yeah.
don't worry about it. Don't
Yeah.
don't waste your energy. Don't put your energy there.
Right. And you might need the tribe to help you
Yeah. Hmm.
reshift that energy depletion because
Hmm.
if you're, a type A, hello, you're like, oh, but I only have these many days to get this done, right? It's like,
Hmm.
nope, if it's going to happen, it is meant to be. And
That's
the
right.
signs are there. So you change how you shift it all for you, by
Hmm.
you, because of you, right?
Yes. How you
Yeah.
show up.
Yeah.
That's it. Be
Totally.
intentional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Brad.
I love this conversation, Denise. So good. I knew it would be amazing, but I just love it. It's your energy is beautiful, and I just love talking to you. I knew it was going to be amazing. So thank you for facilitating such a beautiful conversation, Denise.
Hey, I just come to the room and we have people are like, "Do you have questions?" Nope, we just chat.
we we just show up and talk.
We just do our thing and everything seems to unfold that needs to
Hmm.
unfold in this time and space. So thank
Yes.
you so much for bringing everything to the room and being with me and being present and sharing and laughing and providing safety for so many naturally. So thank you
Thank
for
you.
doing everything that you do every day.
I receive that and appreciate your very kind and supportive words. It's thank you for holding the space and you make it very, very easy. So thank you for being such a gracious and hospitable host. I
My
I've enjoyed
pleasure.
every minute of our conversation, and I knew we would have lots of laugh. Your laugh is just so infectious to me. It just when I hear you laugh, it makes me laugh. It makes me smile. So, thank you for
Perfect.
being the incredible host you are, and for showing up and shining your light, and allowing me the space to share and shine my light as well.
My pleasure. Absolutely. And we will have in the show notes how you can Find Brad and check out his convention that is going to be in a couple of weeks based
Yeah,
on
3 weeks.
when we're
Hmm.
gonna pop this in. So
Hmm.
make sure that you check that out. And again, thank you for being here with me today and reshifting your schedule so we can get this one in because I couldn't wait.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to bring it in so
Absolutely.
quickly and for me
Yeah.
to be able to share the event. And again, just for hosting such a beautiful platform and space to allow me to share and shine. I appreciate you, Denise.
Not a problem. My pleasure. Before we do close, I want to share something that tags on to what you've been talking about
Hmm.
in real life.
Hmm.
So something has come through for me. What are we in now? Probably in October, November, I got what I'm calling a download.
Hmm.
And what has come forward is a live in person experience. And I'm calling it Ignite the Inner Uprising. It'll be a 2 day immersive gathering for up to 1,200 women in midlife years, women who are feeling this quiet pull towards something more truthful, more embodied, more fully themselves. It's an extension of these types of conversations where reflection becomes embodiment and insight becomes integrated, and where we as women have held so much for others, we're going to gather to stand fully in our own sovereignty. So, if something stirred inside of you today, if your body started leaning in, that is not an accident. The wait list is currently open. So if Ignite feels like something your future self would thank you for, I absolutely invite you to add your name to that list. The link will be in the show notes. And as always, follow, like, share, leave a review so more women can find these incredible conversations, and there will be a place for us to gather. It is time to thrive after 45 for you, by you, because of you.